This is a country that was one of the last countries to attain independence on the African continent. It was a country that has been embroiled in civil war for many years. But the day the people of Angola decided peace and unity were the fundamentals of their nation, they have really, over the last 10 years, managed to move their country, use the resources that God has given them to really make this an economic a giant on the African continent. And I think for all of us who have been here, we have seen the amazing developments that have happened in Angola over the last 10 years. And this is something that I think all of us on the African continent should emulate. And this is why I have been saying that if we on the African continent can really work together, pull together, really understand that the petty little differences that we have are not the important issues. The important issues is the welfare and the well-being of our people. There is a lot that we can achieve. And I think Angola is a good example of a country that has recently come from civil strife and that has really managed to become one of the greatest economies, not just on the African continent in terms of growth, but in the world. I think we saw the last statistics of the World Bank that show an economy that is ready to grow at approximately 8%. And this is really what I keep saying in Kenya, that we need to emulate this. We need to be able to set aside our little political differences and pull together so that we can achieve the kind of growth that the Kenyan people deserve. South Sudan is our new baby, as they say, 2 years old. And ultimately, I think the thing to recognize is the fact that it is a country that still has to develop a lot of institutions. And as such, it requires a lot of support from all of us. And what we have been doing is, one, encouraging regional and African support for South Sudan, but also encouraging the South Sudanese themselves to recognize that they need to work together. They need to understand that violence is not a solution. They themselves have worked very hard for their own independence, and therefore they need at this critical stage to pull together and build the institutions that are necessary to maintain, sustain, and bring prosperity to South Sudan. And this really is the push that especially we in Kenya have, and we are very willing to support them in that endeavor. But it is necessary for all of them to recognize that independence is not just about the word freedom. Independence means that you must be committed to also ensuring the prosperity, the security, and the safety of your people. Democratic institutions means that we must accept the will of the people. If the people in the DRC have acknowledged that they have elected a government, if we are working together as the Great Lakes region to ensure that all negative forces are removed from the scene, all we are keen to see is that those countries work together and recognize that integration of our region, integration of our continent, removal of our people from poverty, creating opportunities for our young men and women, this is what we as a continent need to be able to focus upon. Because at the end of the day, what we need to be able to achieve is the prosperity of our people, because by increasing prosperity and decreasing the level of poverty on the African continent, I believe we will be able to deal with a lot of the conflicts that we have. And this is really what we are emphasizing to both President Kabila and also to his neighbors. Can you imagine what would be if the railway that we are now starting from Mombasa to Nairobi can be extended all the way through to Eastern Congo? What is the potential that we have? What is the expectation that our people can hope for? It is great, and this is really the focus that we have.